So, you've brought something pretty wild for us to look at today.
Yeah.
It's this document called An AI Perspective on Human Fundamentals.
Oh.
And just the title alone kind of grabbed me.
Oh,
like
yeah.
an AI trying to break down what it means to be human.
Right.
From like basic needs all the way to these deep, existential questions. Pretty ambitious, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's definitely not just scratching the surface.
Right.
It really tries to get at like the core stuff that makes us human across like all these different levels, biological, psychological, social, even like our relationship with the environment and how we deal with like our own mortality and stuff.
It's like having this like super intelligent outsider just looking at us and giving their analysis.
Right.
Yeah,
totally. And what's really cool is that these kind of outside perspectives can actually be like super insightful.
Totally.
Like they can show us things about ourselves that we might not even notice otherwise.
I like that.
So, yeah, I think this AI's perspective is really valuable.
Okay, so let's jump into it.
Yeah.
Our mission for this deep dive is to like really unpack this AI's perspective and pull out those insights that can give us like a fresh way of looking at ourselves.
Yeah, and the thing is, this AI, it gives us this really structured and like surprisingly comprehensive framework for understanding what makes us tick.
Yeah, you mentioned before, it's not just like a list of obvious things.
Right.
It gets into this interplay between our physical needs and our sense of self.
Yeah, totally.
Which is fascinating.
It's not just one or the other. It's like they're always influencing each other.
Right.
And it also gets into those kind of like conflicting needs we have, Like on the one hand, we crave connection.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, we need our space and independence too.
Right. Like both are essential. Okay, so let's start with what this AI considers like the most fundamental layer.
Okay.
Our biological and physiological realities.
Good.
So first up, the need for sustenance.
Right.
Air, water, and food.
Like the basics.
Yeah, it seems super obvious, right?
Yeah.
But the AI's examples really show how this constant need for sustenance shapes our whole lives from start to finish.
It's interesting because we rarely think about it.
Right.
But this need for sustenance really does drive so much of our behavior. Like it's often happening on like an unconscious level.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Think about a baby, right?
Okay.
Their main thing is getting nourishment.
Right.
And then a little kid, after they're running around playing, they're going to naturally want to drink.
Yeah.
And then as adults, so much of our daily routine revolves around meals.
Totally.
And even as we get older, making sure we're getting enough to eat and drink can become a big concern, sometimes even needing help from others.
Yeah, so the AI is highlighting this constant drive across all stages of life.
Which I think is something we often take for granted.
Totally. We just kind of assume it's taken care of.
Right.
And then beyond those obvious needs like hunger and thirst, the AI specifically mentions the need for air.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Like we barely ever even think about it.
Right.
But it's literally the engine that keeps us going.
Totally. It's like the most essential thing.
Yeah, and it's constant.
Always there in the background.
Right.
It's funny because you think about it, like that hierarchy of needs.
Okay.
These basic biological needs, they're like the foundation.
The base.
Exactly. If those aren't met, it throws everything else off.
Totally. Like nothing else matters if you can't breathe.
Exactly.
Okay. Moving on, the AI also talks about the need for rest.
Right.
And it's not just about feeling tired.
Right.
It's about physical recovery, cellular repair, even consolidating memories.
Oh, wow.
It's like way more than we realize.
Yeah. And again, think about how this need shows up differently throughout life.
Okay.
Like newborns, right? They sleep almost all the time, which is super important for their development. And then as kids get older, having a regular bedtime helps them learn and focus better.
Right.
And even for us adults, when we're tired,
Oh,
our thinking gets fuzzy. We don't make good decisions.
Totally.
It affects our mood, our health, everything.
It's true.
What's interesting is the AI even mentions elderly naps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which just shows that even though sleep patterns change over time, that underlying need for rest stays with us.
It's like a constant.
Exactly. Even those little breaks we take during the day to just like relax for a few minutes.
Right.
Those are contributing to that need too.
It all adds up.
Totally.
Okay, so next we have physical sensations.
Right.
So basically how we experience the world through our senses.
Yeah, like touch, taste, smell, sight, hearing.
Right. And the AI points out that these sensations are like our primary way of getting information.
Yeah.
Experiencing pleasure and even detecting danger.
Like it's how we connect to the world.
Yeah. It really highlights how much our experience is embodied, you know?
It's true.
Like we're not just brains floating around in these bodies.
Exactly. And those bodies are how we interact with everything.
So like when a baby puts something in their mouth.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just random.
No.
It's them literally trying to understand their environment.
Through their senses.
Exactly. And a kid's reaction to like bright colors or extreme heat or cold.
Yeah.
Those are all like essential sensory inputs that shape their understanding of the world.
And even as we get older, our senses might change a bit, but they still remain that core connection to the physical world around us.
So whether it's enjoying a delicious meal or the comfort of, you know, a hug from someone you love, it's all coming through those senses.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is.
How much information we're constantly taking in and processing without even realizing it.
Okay, so now the AI gets into bodily functions.
Right.
All those like involuntary processes that keep our insides running smoothly.
Keeping us alive.
Yeah, it's interesting that the AI like puts these really basic functions as a core part of being human.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think about it.
Okay.
Our bodies are constantly working to maintain this like internal balance, whether it's a baby's digestive system or an adult's circulatory system.
Yeah.
All these processes are essential for life.
It's true.
And the AI gives some good examples, you know, like how often babies need diaper changes. Or like how our bodies physically react to stress. Like our heart rate goes up, we start sweating.
Yeah.
All that stuff is happening automatically.
It's like a whole system we don't have to think about.
Exactly. And on top of that, there's like the constant breathing.
Right.
The heartbeat.
Yeah.
Our kidneys filtering waste.
Right.
All these things we rarely even notice.
It's true. It's just happening.
But it's all part of what keeps us going.
Okay, so shifting gears a bit, the AI talks about growth and change as like this ongoing process throughout life.
Yeah, it's not just a childhood thing.
Right. We often think of growth as stopping when we're adults.
Right.
But the AI is saying our bodies are always in flux.
It's true.
From subtle changes in our metabolism to more obvious things like wrinkles.
And even as we get older, some changes might seem like decline, but they're still part of this constant transformation.
It's all part of the process.
Totally.
And then kind of tied to that is our vulnerability to illness and injury.
Yeah, that's a big one.
The AI's point is that this is just an unavoidable part of being human.
It's a fundamental truth, you know? We can try to stay healthy and safe, but we're all going to get sick or injured at some point.
It's true.
It's just part of the deal.
And the AI gives examples for different ages.
Yeah, like babies are more prone to infections. Older folks are more likely to fall.
Yeah.
It's part of the human experience.
It's like this inherent fragility that comes with being alive.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting way to put it.
Okay, so then there's the need for hygiene. Which the AI frames as not just about health. But also social acceptance.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's like, obviously hygiene prevents disease.
Yeah.
But it also affects how people see us.
Totally. Like if someone doesn't take care of their hygiene, it can affect their relationships, their job opportunities.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
So the AI's examples, from parents bathing babies to adults showering and taking care of themselves, it shows how important hygiene is.
Throughout life.
Yeah, for both our well-being and how we fit into society.
It's kind of like a social contract in a way.
Okay, and finally, in this biological section, we have the need for shelter protection.
Right.
It's more than just having a roof over our heads, right?
It's about creating a safe and controlled environment that protects us from the elements from danger.
So the AI's examples show how this need evolves over time.
Yeah, like for a baby, it's about having constant warmth and safety.
Right.
For an older person, it might be about having a home that's easy to get around in.
That makes sense.
And it also includes those everyday things we do.
Like what?
Like seeking shade on a hot day.
Oh, yeah.
Or bundling up when it's cold.
Right.
It's all about protecting ourselves.
It's like creating a little bubble of safety.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered the basics of our physical being.
The foundation.
Now the AI gets into psychological and cognitive experiences.
Oh, okay. Getting a little more abstract now.
Yeah. So first up, consciousness and awareness.
All right.
This seems like a pretty tricky thing for an AI to analyze.
Yeah, it is fascinating that it tries to define something so subjective.
Right.
Like what it feels like to be aware, to experience the world.
So how does it define it?
Well, it talks about consciousness as like the state of being awake and aware of both our internal thoughts and feelings and the external world around us.
So like being present in the moment.
Exactly. And the examples it gives are interesting.
Tell me more.
It traces this development of awareness from like the very basic consciousness of a baby all the way to the more complex reflective consciousness of an older adult.
And it even mentions the shift between wakefulness and sleep.
Yeah, like that's a fundamental part of consciousness too.
It is. It's like this constant cycle.
Right.
Okay, so then we have experiencing emotions.
Another big one.
And the AI describes these as like these intricate responses that involve feelings, physiological changes, and outward behaviors.
So it's not just what we feel inside.
Right, it's like a whole body experience.
Exactly. Emotions have this physical component, and they often drive how we act and interact with others.
So it's like a mind-body connection.
Totally.
And the AI's examples across different age groups show how universal experiencing emotions is.
From a baby's simple expressions to an adult's more complex and nuanced emotions. Yeah. And even the emotional landscape of older age.
Which can be really rich and layered.
Exactly. It's like we never stop feeling.
Okay, so next we get into thinking and processing information.
Right, the brain stuff.
Yeah, everything from memory and learning to problem solving and decision making.
It's like the AI is trying to map out our cognitive abilities.
Right, it's fascinating.
And what's really cool is it recognizes that these abilities change throughout our lives.
Okay.
Like from an infant just starting to understand cause and effect to an older person maybe working on memory exercises or learning how to use new technology. It's like our minds are constantly being challenged and adapting.
It's like a muscle we have to keep using.
Exactly. Use it or lose it.
And of course, there's perception.
How we make sense of the world.
Yeah, the AI describes it as actively interpreting sensory information.
So it's not just passively taking in data.
Right, it's more than that.
It's like our brains are actively constructing our reality.
Based on the information coming from our senses.
Exactly.
And the AI's examples show how we learn to do this.
Yeah, like from a young age, we start recognizing faces and voices.
Right.
And then as we get older, we get better at interpreting more complex cues.
Like body language and tone of voice.
Exactly.
And the AI also points out that our perception can change over time.
Yeah, like our eyesight might get worse.
Right.
Or our hearing might decline.
So we have to adapt to those changes.
Exactly. It's like our brains are constantly recalibrating.
Okay, and then the AI brings up the need for mental stimulation.
Oh, yeah, this is so important.
Like our brains need a workout too.
It's like exercise for the mind.
The AI suggests that our minds need to be engaged.
Yeah, to stay sharp and healthy.
Just like our bodies need physical activity.
Right. And the examples it gives are great.
What are some of?
Like a baby exploring different textures.
Okay.
A kid doing puzzles.
Yeah.
An adult learning a new language. Or an older person doing crosswords.
It's all about keeping those synapses firing.
Exactly.
Okay. And finally, in the psychological realm, we have the sense of self.
That deep awareness of being an individual.
Yeah, this seems like a really complex human trait for an AI to grasp.
It is, but it does a pretty good job.
So how does it approach it?
Well, it talks about the sense of self as developing over time.
Okay.
Starting with like a toddler's first understanding of me and mine.
Right.
And then going through adolescence, where we're really trying to figure out who we are. And then into adulthood, where our sense of self might be more defined by our roles, our values, our beliefs.
Well, it's a journey. And the AI even talks about how older adults often reflect on their lives.
Yeah, like trying to make sense of their experiences.
Right, and see how it all fits together.
It's like looking back on the whole story.
Okay, so now let's move into social and relational aspects.
Right, the human connection stuff.
Exactly. So the AI starts with the need for connection and belonging.
Which is like fundamental to who we are. It's like AI recognizes that we're wired to be social.
Yeah, it sees it as like this deep-seated human need.
So it's not just a nice to have.
No. It's essential.
And the AI gives examples from across the lifespan.
Yeah, like the bond between a baby and their caregiver.
Uh-huh.
Kids making friends.
Yeah.
Adults forming romantic relationships.
Oh, right.
And even the importance of community for older adults.
It's like we thrive when we have connections.
Exactly.
And then closely linked to that is communication.
Right, how we connect with each other.
Yeah, the AI describes it as all the ways we share information, ideas, and feelings.
It's like the foundation of any social interaction. Totally.
And the AI shows how communication takes so many forms.
Like what?
From a baby's cries and coos.
Okay.
To the complex conversations we have as adults, and even like body language and facial expressions.
That's all communication.
Yeah, and it's constantly evolving.
And the AI also gets into interdependence.
Okay.
The idea that we all rely on each other.
Even though we value our independence.
Right. It's like this paradox.
Yeah, and the AI's perspective is interesting.
How so?
It sees interdependence as like this inherent part of human society. Like we're all connected in this web of relationships.
And we both give and receive support.
Exactly. It's a two-way street.
And the AI also points out how our dependence on others changes throughout life.
Like we're more dependent when we're very young.
Right.
And when we're older.
But even in between.
Yeah.
We still rely on each other in countless ways.
It's true.
Okay, so then there's the influence of social structures and norms.
The rules of the game.
Yeah, all those unwritten rules and frameworks.
Yeah.
That shape our behavior in society.
They're everywhere.
And the AI's examples show how these structures and norms can be really powerful.
Like they influence how we interact with each other.
Right.
What we consider acceptable behavior.
So it's like everything from family rules to workplace policies, laws.
Cultural customs.
It's like this whole invisible system.
That shapes our lives.
Okay, and finally, in the social realm, we have experiencing social interaction.
The actual moment-to-moment interactions.
Yeah, it's like where all those social needs and communication skills come together.
And the AI gives examples that capture the different ways we interact.
Okay.
From a baby's smile being returned by their caregiver to adults collaborating on projects, having arguments, comforting each other.
It's like the whole spectrum of human interaction.
Exactly.
Okay, so now we're into the final category.
Right.
Environmental and existential factors.
The big picture stuff.
So it starts with our interaction with the environment.
Okay.
And this goes beyond just needing shelter.
Right.
It's about our ongoing relationship with our surroundings.
It's like a two-way street.
Yeah. We shape our environment and it shapes us.
And the AI's examples show this back and forth.
Give me some examples.
Okay, so like a baby might react to loud noises.
Okay.
Or bright lights. An adult might commute to work.
Yeah.
Or garden.
Okay.
Or adjust the thermostat in their house.
Right.
And an older person might need to make changes to their home.
Yeah.
To stay safe and independent.
So it's all about how we adapt to and modify our surroundings.
Exactly. It's a constant dance.
Okay, so then the AI gets into our experience of time.
Oh, this is a fascinating one.
Yeah, experiencing time, our awareness of the past, present, and future.
It's something we rarely take for granted.
Totally.
But for an AI, I bet it's super intriguing.
Yeah, like how do you even explain that to something that doesn't experience time the same way?
It's a good question.
So what does the AI say?
Well, it basically says that our awareness of time is fundamental to how we live our lives.
Okay.
Like we make plans for the future.
Yeah.
We learn from the past.
Right.
We try to make the most of the present.
And it gives examples.
Yeah, like a kid getting excited for a holiday.
Yeah.
An adult managing their schedule.
Right.
An older person reminiscing about their memories.
Like time is this constant backdrop.
To our whole existence.
Okay, so next. The AI tackles a pretty heavy topic.
Oh.
Facing limitations and mortality.
The big one.
Yeah, but it's a core part of the human experience, right?
It's unavoidable.
The AI is basically saying that recognizing our limitations and ultimately our mortality
shapes how we live.
It influences our choices, our values.
Our search for meaning.
And the AI gives examples across different ages.
Yeah, like a child realizing they can't fly.
Okay.
Or lift something really heavy. A teenager dealing with social or cognitive limits. An adult facing career setbacks or health issues.
Yeah.
And an older person dealing with declining abilities.
It's like we're constantly confronted with what we can and can't do.
And ultimately with the fact that our time is limited.
It's a lot to process.
It is, but it's also what makes life precious.
I agree.
It gives it meaning.
And kind of related to that is the experience of experiencing change and transition.
Oh, yeah. Life is full of change.
It's like one thing after another.
It's like a constant flow.
And the AI is saying that this is just a natural part of life.
Both internally and externally.
So it's like everything from starting school to changing careers, getting married,
having kids,
losing loved ones, aging. It's like we're constantly adapting to new situations.
Exactly.
Again, then the AI talks about making choices.
Our agents.
Yeah. That even within all these limitations and changes, we still have the power to make decisions.
To shape our own lives.
And the AI gives examples for all ages.
Yeah, like a child choosing what to play with. An adult deciding on a career path. Or where to live.
Yeah.
It's all about exercising that agency.
And the AI seems to see that as really important.
Yeah, like it's part of what makes us human.
Okay, and finally the AI ends with the need for safety and security.
That primal need.
Yeah, it's like this thread that runs through everything else.
It's foundational.
And the AI's examples show how this need manifests differently across the lifespan.
Like for a baby, it might be about being held close. Feeling that physical security. For an adult, it might be about financial stability or having trusting relationships.
And for older adults,
it might be about having a safe environment.
Right.
Predictable routines and reliable support.
Like that sense of security can make all the difference.
It really can.
So, wow, looking at this AI's breakdown.
Yeah, it's pretty comprehensive.
It really gives this like structured and insightful perspective on what it means to be human.
From those basic needs.
Right.
All the way to those complex social and existential experiences.
And what's so interesting is that it's coming from this completely different perspective.
Right.
Like an AI looking at us.
And yet it identifies these core elements.
That feels so true.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what aspects of our existence are truly universal.
Right. Like regardless of whether you're human or AI.
It's a mind-blowing thought.
It is. Okay. So for you listening.
Yeah.
Think about this.
Okay.
As you reflect on your own life right now, which of these fundamental aspects identified by the AI resonates most strongly with your current experiences?
That's a good question.
Does this framework highlight any needs or experiences that you might be overlooking?
Or maybe prioritizing differently now.
It's definitely given me a lot to think about.
Yeah. You know, this whole exercise
of looking at ourselves through an AI lens
can be really valuable.
It's like a different kind of self-awareness.
Right, like it can reveal things about ourselves that we might not have noticed before.
So we encourage you to keep reflecting on these ideas.
Yeah.
And see how these fundamentals show up in your own life.
In your everyday experiences.
And your interactions with the world.
It's a journey.
It is.
And we'll be here to explore more fascinating perspectives.
On all sorts of topics.
In future deep dives.
Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
This is DigitView.